Here comes the lull in the Star Wars universe, which means we can talk about upcoming projects. Don't forget that on the 4th of June, we will see the premiere of 2 episodes of Acolyte, a series in which Lucasfilm has invested a lot of effort and money, and I really hope that it will not disappoint us. Meanwhile, the company is heavily preparing for the new The Mandalorian and Grogu film, which aims to bring Star Wars back to the big cinema screens. And in this video, I've gathered for you all the information available to date, which will help you to better navigate what's going on. Well, so you can at least have an understanding of when to expect the film's release and what's going on behind the scenes right now. Filming should start in the upcoming days. According to the most reliable insiders, May is the month when it all begins. The filming process itself will last until about late autumn, after which the footage will go to post-production, where it will be stored for a long time. The main locations for filming will be the usual studio halls of Los Angeles, where all the past seasons were filmed, and the UK, the beautiful landscapes of which will be needed for full-scale filming. According to preliminary information, the budget of the film will be only $120 million, and this is quite a small budget, but as insiders say, everything can change many times over, and perhaps the project will be given additional funding. And as for additional funding, this is very likely since insiders close to that project say that Mandalorian and Grogu will be shot in the style of Iron Man and will look like the best films of Michael Bay, and this implies a large number of cool effects and exciting scenes that need more than $120 million. The main producer of the film, Jon Favreau, who shot Iron Man, really wants the finale of the story of Din Djarin and Baby Grogu to look as epic as possible. It sounds good so far. Jon Favreau directed the first episode of the 2nd season of The Mandalorian, and the battle with the Krayt Dragon looked really great. I hope Favreau will be able to realize all his ideas. But the premiere of the film, The Mandalorian and Grogu, is scheduled for May the 22nd, 2026. There is also information that the first teaser will be shown to us at the Star Wars Celebration 2025 event, which will be held in April 2025 in Japan. There will also be many more things shown there that Lucasfilm are working on right now. Another popular question is what will happen to the 4th season of The Mandalorian? Will it come out before the film premieres? And it's very funny because for a long time, Lucasfilm themselves couldn't decide what to do with the series. We've received a lot of news. It will come out, it won't come out, it will only be 6 episodes. At some point, it started to look like real madness. But at the moment, the company has thrown all its efforts into the development of the film The Mandalorian and Grogu, and the news about the 4th season of the series is out of the question. This information was also confirmed by Pedro Pascal's main stunt double, Brendan Wayne, who usually plays Din Djarin in all the helmet scenes, so he can be called the real Mandalorian because 90% of the screen time is taken up by him, and Pedro Pascal only voices Djarin and appears in some particularly important scenes. The entire 3rd season was filmed without his presence on set. It is still unknown whether Pedro will appear without a helmet in the new film or whether he will again be replaced by his stunt double. The actor himself has previously admitted to being a little tired of the role of Din Djarin, as he constantly has to wear uncomfortable armor and look through the dark glass of his helmet, which almost completely limits his visibility. Besides, it probably affects the contract somehow. No one will pay the actor a lot of money for playing in the closed armor, so Pascal does not know if he will appear in the film, but he will definitely continue to voice his character. As I've said in the past videos about the film, the plot will be split equally between The Mandalorian and Kid Grogu, showing us each character in a new way. The kid's past will especially get a lot of attention, which so far never got a sequel after that flashback to his escape from Coruscant with Kelleran Beck. The Mandalorian and Grogu film will probably wrap up that story and show what happened next and exactly how the kid ended up in the hands of those outlaws from Season 1. There are also rumors that we will be shown the good old Jedi temple on Coruscant, where the Mandalorian and Grogu may fly to in search of answers to some questions about the kid's past. We'll also be told more about Grogu's importance to the Empire and the revived Necromancer project to clone Emperor Palpatine. Seems like nothing bad, but here I am getting a little tired of this Necromancer project. We also know Palpatine will be resurrected. We also know that Snoke is his clone. And most importantly, we already know that Palpatine will eventually be brought down in the most shameful way possible. They showed a couple of hints about his revival, and that's enough, but Lucasfilm has been strangling us with this necromancer since 2020 in several series, and in none of them they showed something of importance, but simply provided more hints. It's time to stop. This Palpatine revival should be forgotten like a bad dream. But Lucasfilm don't realize that at all, and it turns out that the Star Wars universe has become hostage to this annoying story. It's time to focus on more important things, but at the same time, The Mandalorian and Grogu should be the finale of the series story, so the endless tirade with cloning Palpatine should end too. Also, there's a good chance that a lot of famous characters should appear in this film. Luke Skywalker, Ahsoka, Bo-Katan, Boba Fett, and maybe even Omega. She was previously wanted to be added to one of the new projects and was waiting for the right opportunity. If The Mandalorian and Grogu is to complete the long-running story of Project Necromancer and Omega was so closely associated with it, then she should definitely be involved in some way. In general, this movie is certainly a strange project. The thing that confuses me the most is that they literally made it out of nothing. Maybe you've forgotten, but I'll remind you. After some bad words from the director of the 10th episode, which is also in development, Star Wars fans made a big fuss and Lucasfilm had to postpone filming of the new Jedi Order indefinitely. And right on the same day, they announced the Mandalorian and Grogu film in an uncharacteristic manner just by publishing the news about it on the website. Initially, the company planned to develop the Mandalorian series up to the 5th season, but the plans had to be urgently revised. And now they are trying to fit the content for 2 seasons into one film with a very small budget. It's as if the project has no specific concept, and I can't help feeling that Lucasfilm announced it first and then started to think about what it would tell the audience about. I'm afraid that it will become similar to the 3rd season, which was also not quite successful, and this is indicated by both the ratings and paid subscription sales. But it's too early to speculate about the quality of the project. Let's wait at least for a teaser or some other news. I would also like to remind you that a big game about Mandalorian from Respawn Entertainment Studio was being developed for 2 years. The project was going to be released around the same time as the film we are discussing today, but for some unknown reason, the company decided to stop the development. It's quite sad. So much effort, time and money was wasted, and Respawn Studio could create something really good. So, instead of a film and a game, we will get just a film. Anyway, the expected release date is 22nd of May 2026, and the first teaser will be shown no earlier than April 2025. As for my personal opinion, I'm being cautiously optimistic about the film. I love that Lucasfilm has decided to bring Mandalorian to the big screens. It will definitely give the project a bigger scope. But at the same time, I'm afraid that the writers didn't make any conclusions after the 3rd season. Otherwise, we'll just get a forgettable film without an interesting plot from which The Mandalorian and Grogu may repeat the sad fate of the last Marvel projects. And before I finish the video, I want to ask you something. Write in the comments how you generally perceive the announcement of the film The Mandalorian and Grogu. What do you think its plot will be? And is there anything in the announcement of this project that made you suspicious? I will be very glad to read your comments, because this way I'll be able to analyze the opinion of real Star Wars fans and understand what fans really want. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. That's it for now. Thank you very much for watching. See you soon.